Alright. What's up, everyone? We're here with the HomeStory Cup semi-finals. It's Basilisks, Reynor in the bottom right side of the map, a man who came into this tournament looking like a monster. But, as always, his aggressive style in the mid-game is going to be challenged because he's up against Stormgate's Showtime, that's right. Representing big esports, of course, but in clan Stormgate right now. No doubt memeing about the next direction he'd like to take in his career path. He's actually doing a... Oh, I thought he wasn't scouting, but he is scouting. It's just a gate scout. This is the Showtime special, guys. The most conservative play you can do in this matchup is don't block their expansion, so you don't go over there super early. But you also don't not scout at all. You kind of just go for this in-between scout, this gate scout. It's a very safe build, but it doesn't really give you any advantages. I generally do prefer the quick blocks that come out of other players or the complete lack of scouting that a guy like Hero might do to cut a corner. On the other hand, I say that, and I'm not sure if what I like and dislike applies to Showtime because the man is a master of defense. He is so good at just playing his solid openings that he's played hundreds of times over and making it look very good. Zest used to kind of do the same thing, but Zest was not the master of defense. Zest was the master of do that same opening and then do a sick timing attack off it. It's a little bit different in this scenario. Big thanks for those subs, by the way. We'll give you guys props in between the games, but thank you so much for supporting. If you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to check out the Patreon down below the channel. It does help support us a lot, as of course, as you know, add money gaming videos on YouTube. Not so much, especially since, let's be honest, most of you are using ad block, and can't blame you for that. Stargate goes down nice and quick. Pretty standard opening, except the only thing is there's no chrono on the Adept. That tells us Showtime has a completely defensive stance. This is going to give Reynor all the time in the world to just drone up, doesn't need to build extra Zerglings, take his third base, do all of the standard things, and Showtime's saying, that's fine. It's an economic arms race, baby. He's going to chrono this natural the moment it starts building probes. And this chrono in the main, he's going to save, so he's going to double chrono his first two oracles, and that's where the pressure's really going to start. Link speed's well underway. He does have one worker still on gas, so Reynor gives himself a little bit of flexibility with that. Notice he's also checking for proxies around the edge. That's really good attention to detail. I'm actually very impressed. A lot of players get really lazy and stop checking for proxies, but I feel like Reynor's preparation game has been on point recently. As a player who I sometimes criticize for, I feel, coming into series unprepared, or maybe not unprepared, but underprepared. You know, it always feels like he could have done a little bit more work to study his opponents rather than just playing the matchup. But maybe that's just his specialty. It's just a Protoss player. I'll just play against Protoss the way I normally do, and I'm good enough to make it work. Stalker is there. He's going to use the Oracle to spot the Overlord on that Pervert pillar. Overlord will get pushed back. Is he going to risk moving out with these units? Looks like he will. One Adept in the wall, potentially. Stalker goes after the Overlord. Links come in. Probe was pretty safe, though. Diving on that would have lost him a few Zerglings. Probably wouldn't have netted him anything. Stalker takes out the Overlord. He can go back to block the wall. Third Nexus starts at 355. 39 probes for Protoss. 37 for Zerg. And this is normally where Zerg kind of gets ahead of the Protoss. There's about 40 workers is where that should be changing to the Zerg being in the lead. 3 queens will be in the main in a moment. 2 queens out here, and a Spore Kriller going up in the natural in the third. Decent defense for Reynor. What I love the most is his Overlord positioning. He sees these oracles well ahead of time, has plenty of time to pull the drone away. 3 queens in the main as well, looking to intercept. Careful, Showtime. Fly into those queens, you can have a bad time. And, oh, get out. Heavily bruised already, hasn't done an ounce of damage to the Zerg. Only a single Zergling and 1 Overlord have gone down. Third Nexus is well underway, but we've got the Robo, the Forge coming up behind it, which makes me think this is going to be a charge lot Archon style. Not necessarily, but definitely one of Showtime's specialties. I've actually said a few times over the last few years, there we go, charge starts up. Showtime has some of the best charge lot Immortal Archon play in the game. The problem is Swarm Hosts, and Reynor very regularly, if he scouts him going Zealots, he'll go for Swarm Host Nidus or just Roach Swarm Host across the map. And Showtime is exceptionally weak to that with this style. Any other style, he's like pretty much 100% solid against. Crazy Muta switches, he's totally fine against. Mass Roach attacks, he crushes with this style. But it's always the Swarm Hosts that catch him. And I've seen Reynor many times when I thought Showtime had better straight up PvZ than Reynor. Reynor switches gears, counters him, gets a free win or two with Swarmhosts, forces Showtime back into playing Blink. And if Showtime plays Blink, that's where Reynor can beat him in a kind of standard Zerg strategy game with the Ravagerling Bane style. But now, though, Reynor hasn't necessarily seen any indications of what the tech is. He is going for Roach Warren and +1 range, which is normally the style you want to go against the Zealots, as Zerglings struggle against that. I would expect a second Evo Chamber style out of Reynor. He's going Overlord speed to try and confirm what's happening. Still not 100% sure where the Protoss money is going. Did he see the gases on this third? No. Hasn't seen those gases yet either. We can already see 2 Archons are warping in. It's a 6-gate Zealot Archon pressure. Showtime, I think usually with this build, you take a quick 4th behind this pressure. Infestation Pit's on the way. That's probably just to head towards Hive and Lurkers. Robo Base starts for Showtime. Showtime coming forward. 2 Archons and a few Zealots going after these Queens. He does have an Observer out on the map as well, but it's not here on the front lines. It's just popped out. Goes after these units. He's pushing in deeper. He can get the Overlord on the way out. Right now, he wants to try to overwhelm Reynor, but Reynor's got enough units, and it's time for Showtime to pull back. I think good judgment for him. Doesn't really lose any units. He's going to use the Revelation just to clean up some creep tumors and try to pull on back for now. Plenty of Roaches and Queens scrambling to the front. Great defense by Reynor. Oh. Okay, Roach speed +1's on the way. Hive starts, as does the Hydroden. I've been very critical in the past of Reynor starting a Hive and always forgetting to start the Hydroden. The Hive finishes 30 seconds after the Hive finishes. He starts a Hydroden, then a Lurkerden. Has a terrible transition. Reynor does that when he's playing a Ling Bane style, right? Because he's so comfortable with Ling Bane in the mid game. He doesn't want to sit on Mass Roach. Mass Roach is a terrible army the longer this goes, so he's very focused on going straight towards that Hive. He's like, nah, man. If we just get fast Lurkers, we have a beautiful timing attack, we can go kill the Protoss, or at the very least, stop their attacks on us. And look at that, good focus fire by Showtime. 4 drones go down. Great Archon drop. More Zealot Archon coming up the front. 4th Nexus is on the way there for Showtime. His first Disruptor's on the field. He's going to clear up all of these active tumors in the middle, removing a lot of the map control. Oh, Overlord's on the bottom. Yeah, Showtime will be unloading some Archons, at least damaging these. Might not be able to kill any, as those Archons have very short hands. Ooh, Oracle's hiding behind the base. I love this move. You're just kind of waiting. You're like, come on, transfer your drones down. Give us some free kills. Come on. Reynor's on 89 workers. Okay, 87, but he's building 3 more. He's going to be on 90 drones. He's building spine crawlers to try to make himself a little bit safer since he is being so greedy right now. Lurkerden's on the way. That's a very late Lurkerden, guys. He started the Hydroden when his Hive started and then completely forgot about the Lurkerden. I told you guys, he always forgets his Hive tech, man. There's at least 20 seconds delay on that, if not more. I haven't been paying attention to it, but Hive started a while ago. Oh! Doesn't quite get the Disruptor. Good attempt for Reynor. But if you go too deep like that, then you can get punished. Oh, okay, that pays off for Reynor. He gets the Disruptor, but man, that was a hard judgment call. I would have ran away. I would have definitely been a bit too afraid to commit to that. Oracles are going to fly in now. They find the drone transfer. They also find some Hydras and have to leave. +2 attacks on the way for both players. Still no second Evo chamber for Reynor, so he's happy to just stay on Mass Roach into Lurker for now. He isn't making Hydralisk upgrades. You might be wondering, isn't he going Hydras? No. Every one of those Hydras is going to turn into a Lurker. He's also got Vipers, which would be great for abducting the Disruptors. Roaches try to go after the Disruptor on the bottom. Roaches on both sides. Ooh, Reynor played a really risky game with the Disruptors, but so far he's been doing it well. Oh, he just abducted a Zealot! My man just abducted a Zealot. That has to be the worst abducted. I mean, there's so many Archons, and he somehow clicked on the one Zealot in the middle of the Archons. That is hilarious. He's going to try and grab the Disruptors, no doubt. He grabs it. Oh, that was a really bad abduct. His Viper was way too close. The Prism just picks up the Archon and saves it. Reynor's got to be careful. His micro is a little bit dodgy right now, and he still hasn't morphed the Lurkers. Why is he out here fighting with unupgraded Hydras? There's no reason for him to be forcing a fight right now. This is kind of crazy. I think he feels he can out-micro this army, but remember, these Hydras don't have the move speed upgrade. He wants to take out the Prism. He does get it, and the Disruptor inside, but he's taking big Archon hits. Units lost tab is in the favor of Reynor right now. So I guess this trading is working out for him. 1,000 resources in his favor. But Showtime's on 4 base, 83 probes. Showtime's going for a Fleet Beacon, a Stargate, a second and third Stargate, and continued disrupted production, air weapons, +3 air attack. He's going to take that 5th base behind the 4th. Nice, easy to expand to base. One of the Oracles died this game. There is still one alive out here. Starting to throw some stasis traps out in the open. And sets that off with a single Zergling. Oh, Oracle gets snagged by the Vipers. Really well done. Oh, Archon gets surrounded. Oh, Showtime in disarray right now. And Archon goes down. A Disruptor gets abducted and taken out. This is a really good position. If he can morph Lurkers and just go, he wins the game. There's only like two Disruptors right now. REYNOR is attacking off creep with Ling and unupgraded Hydra. This makes no sense. REYNOR, you're drunk. Go home. Okay, he does end up pulling back. Splits the Lings off for the cancel on the 5th. That's a lovely move. There's an Adept at Harass distracting up there. REYNOR does not have upgrades on these Zerglings. Showtime did not need to cancel that. That's still at like 500 life, I'm pretty sure, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was still in the orange. I don't think it was even red. There was a lot of Zerglings attacking it, but I actually think that wasn't going to die. I could have been wrong. Its shields was obviously all gone, but maybe a little bit too quick on the cancel. Not the biggest deal. Showtime really just wants to transfer a few of these extra workers there. I doubt he wants to build any more. 85 workers is already a very hefty count. Still a big Zealot Archon army out that doesn't trade too well versus Lurkers and the like, and 15 Lurkers are morphing, but REYNOR's taken so long to do this. I really feel he could have made these Lurkers 4 minutes ago, or maybe not, 2 minutes ago, and got a lot of value out of them. I think REYNOR's sloppy Hive Tech kind of lets advantages slip away from him in these sort of longer games, and if you let Showtime get to carriers, that's an issue. On the other hand, REYNOR does seem to be settling in for a macro gain. Double Spire is on the way. Showtime's harassing him with these Zealots. He actually gets a lot of drones, 10 drones. Gonna go after the Spire now. Ooh, Spire snipes would be big, but there's Nidus Worm. Nidus on the other side. Oh god, Showtime, careful, mate. Lurkers on the low ground do take out some of Showtime's probes. This is distracting him. So the Nidus Worm will erupt in the main base, but a Zealot Warpen and Carrier will deal with that. A single Lurker gets in, taking advantage of the fact there's no detection. Nicely played. One Spire goes down, the other one does survive. At least that means there won't be any greater Spire on the way, as that Spire is busy making upgrades. Lurker gets in, starts picking off these probes, does get one probe before the Zealots warp in and distract it. Oh, big army gets Psy-Stormed on the front. Some Abducts go down on a bunch of the Protoss units. 5 Disruptors, 5 Archons have died this game. Still a pack of Lurkers. They're going to take the Nexus out from the low ground. Dude, this is a really nice push for REYNOR. On the other hand, the Prism is being a nuisance. I really think you should build a single Corruptor to chase that down. Mutalisk or Corruptor, something to get rid of that. Zealots on the right are cleaned up. 10 more drones go down. We're on 72 drones versus 70 probes right now. REYNOR's re-droning in the midst of this. That single Lurker finally goes down, but not before it does a bunch more damage. Big fight on the front. Psystorm's blanketing the army. Showtime, where's your detection? Oh no! The Oracle finally arrives there. Luckily, Archon's is super tanky, and he pulled the High Templar back, but he loses 17 workers in total. There's still an Overseer in the back door. REYNOR cannot see it, whereas it can see all over here. And this is actually, oh sorry, Showtime can't see it. He can drop Nidus Worms like there, and it's going to be hard for Showtime to see. He's going to drop it behind the natural for now. Quite easy for Showtime to notice if his eyes are open. Showtime. We might want to trap him. This is actually one where you let him pop it, and then you jump on it. But, oh yeah, he's only 2 Zealots. Oh, Showtime. I think that was just a mistake from him, guys. Maybe F2'd back to the front or something like that. The Lurker's unable to get back inside, though, so he does trap a few of these Lurkers. Ends up being a good trade for Showtime. Roach Hydra, these units are not good for this stage of the game. REYNOR would like to get rid of them. He probably wants to trade those away, replace them with better things. He's got 86 workers, a 24 worker advantage behind this. Lurker Harass comes in behind the 5th as well. Another 6 probes going down. Dude, REYNOR has got a big economy. He's got a big setup, but he doesn't have any late game units. Other than, what, 1 Lurker. He's making 7 more. He's got a few Corruptors and Vipers to deal with the carriers, but 15 Corruptors, yeah, it's a pretty good number to deal with 4 carriers. About right. Does have to watch out for Psystorm, and most importantly, feedback on the Vipers. Creep trying to spread out, it's getting dealt with. I love that the Lurkers keep running into Harass, but the Oracle is stationed there. As I say that, the Oracle flies away at the worst possible time. Overseer in the top, going to keep trying to pop those Nidus Worms in the main as well. Only 1-1 on the melee carapace, but +3 attack on the Lurker attacks. Oh, Corruptors grab a carrier. They grab a second one. Can they get it? No, the Archons on the Storm chase them off. Corruptors do get heavily wounded, and the Vipers have their energy removed. This is a moment where if Showtime wants, he could commit because there's not much anti-air. The Lurkers, though, very scary against the Archons. There's only 7 Lurkers versus 10 Archons, though. Here we go. Oh my god, Showtime's going for it? No. That's a very risky play. The Archons have already taken a bit of damage. Zealots do split into that top base, pick off a few drones. Roach Hydra is going to move up to deal with it. Spore Crawler is trying to move in front of these lurkers. REYNOR wants to control this area to defend both bases at once. These Archons are in a really bad position up behind that mineral line. You do not want those units stuck behind each other up there. Nidus in the main base. Once again, 2 Zealots and a Stalker are stationed there. They'll deal with it. Archons shove forward. Where are those lurkers right now? Where the heck are those lurkers? Did he just put them all in the Nidus Worm, guys? Oh my god, Zealots running in. The Spine Crawlers are trading with those Zealots on the south. Carriers doing what they can. REYNOR with a big misstep. Looks like he's unloaded those from the Nidus Worm, brought them back to the front, but he's going to lose a base for it. Not to mention a few Spine Crawlers on the bottom getting heavily bruised. They do survive. This hatchery luckily surviving for REYNOR. Showtime is not rebuilding his economy. He's staying on 65 workers and keeping a giant standing army. A handful of carriers, a massive Archons, and a couple of High Templar. Those High Templar are everything. If they are removed, the Corruptors and the Vipers will rip apart the carriers, and the Lurkers will deal with everything else. That is a big if, though. He does get an abduct, but that's not enough to complete. Viper goes down for it. All he does is damage the shields on one of the carriers and has to pull back. Showtime finally making +2 air weapons. +2 carapace is finally on the way, both for air and ground for REYNOR. Shields coming in as well, also going to be very helpful for Showtime as this game goes on. Showtime is now up on still just 5 bases and hasn't really transferred around or taken the extra gases. His economic growth isn't there. It feels like Showtime is very focused on trying to win the game actively with his movement and this army. So he's not really taking the time to like regrow behind it. And you know, say, I've got a 6th, I've got a 7th, I've got, you know, 80 probes and all the upgrades. He's still trying to get value, and as good as he's doing on that, he's down in the units lost tab. And that means the longer the game goes, you're trading worse. As long as REYNOR ends up mining equal bases to you in the long run, you guys are on the same footing. And that is what scares me for his position. REYNOR's just trying to turtle up and survive this stage of the game. Trying to build a few more Overlords right now, as obviously Overseers do tend to die. Oh, good abduct. He's going to get that carrier. Yoinks it, gets out. Queens do go down. The Lurker's trying to pull back away from these. Blinding Cloud goes down. Nice abduct. 2 carriers get picked off down to the south. Oh, amazing pickoffs for REYNOR. He's going to take out the other carriers as well. That one gets abducted into Spore Crawlers. He does pull away, but he's lost all of his Lurkers. Without Lurkers, what can he do? He's trying to make Hydralisks right now to deal with the Archons. The Corruptors off to the left. Archons can chase them and do a lot of damage. Nice positioning on these units here for Showtime. He's like, get back here. Let me kill you, man. He could take out this hatchery and then pull back. Would probably be the right call. Might even be able to just keep pushing in, but with no Psystorm, no Disruptors, it's a little scary to try that. Zealots actually are reinforcing. Here we go. Mass Roach Hydra coming in for REYNOR. The Corruptors coming in from behind. They're going to try and focus the carriers while the Roach Hydra occupies the ground army. Great pullback so far for Showtime. I love that he's doing some Zealot run-bys, but it looks like most of his Zealots rallied into the Roach Hydra behind this and died. That was awkward. Does get a few Archon shots off. He's got to be careful. Where are those High Templar guys? 3 High Templar are back at the front. They'll have Storm in a few seconds. Oh, New Immortal's about to rally into its death. Slight mistake there for Showtime. He's got to fix those rally points. That carrier's going to go down as well. Ooh, the Hydras are exposed. They took out 1 Archon with Zealots on top of them. That is very scary. Archon split to the left to deal with the potential Corruptor flank. Carefully, he's chasing too far. Showtime's chasing into an arc of Hydras now. Storms are decent, but they're not good enough. Oh god, it was a big overextend for Showtime. He was doing so good, but this was a massive overextension. REYNOR baited him in, spread his Hydras into a beautiful battle arc where the Storm was ineffective, came in with the Corruptors from the flank, and Showtime went from a series of good engagements to an absolute disaster. Because remember, the rule in PvZ, as much as you want to push in when you've had a good fight, the Zerg can remax faster, number 1. Number 2, Protoss units suck when they are in small numbers. You can have 1 Immortal, a Disruptor, a High Templar, an Archon, and a Carrier. They all hang out in a bar. Guess what, guys? A bunch of anything kills that. It's when you get 4 Immortals, 6 Archons, 6 High Templar, juiced up with energy, and you got the Carriers overhead, and you've got some Zealots doing a backstab. That's where you start to really kick butt. Showtime keeping up those Zealot run-bys doing good. Remember, he's keeping REYNOR's economy very small. Kills 2 drones, takes out the hatchery. These are the sort of lovely moves we like to see from Showtime. Does save a few of those Zealots as well, so he's still being efficient even then in the midst of that. Single Lurker on the high ground denying mining on this base will get cleaned up by the Zealot Immortal Archon. Here we go, new push on the low ground. Uh-oh! Showtime's going to take a few more probe losses. Going to transfer to that bottom base, which is so important. He needs this 6th base up, man. Both sides are on 5 bases. Reynor's not even able to... Actually, Reynor's only on 4. He lost his 5th as well. Carrier gets double abducted. It almost goes down, but Reynor doesn't want to cop a storm to the face. Oh, he leaves the carrier hanging out, though. Showtime, you got to tuck that bad boy away, my friend. Zealot Archon Immortal coming down the south. We've got the Corruptors coming forward. Reynor's putting on a lot of pressure with what is a pack of Lurkers and Corruptors. Everything mobile is going home to defend. Spore Crawler does get taken out, but there's no Lurkers at home to take advantage of it. Correction, there we go. They did run home with a big pack of Lurkers. Corruptors are going to go PP. Corruptors in the back line looking for the PP. Reynor wants to add a bit of that caustic spray all over his opponent's base and their face. And when you are getting PP'd on, it does feel a little bit like you're getting the worst end of the deal, that's for sure. It feels embarrassing, it does. Stalker's going to try to work on that, but Stalkers are very bad units. You really don't want Stalkers at this stage of the game, so you're also forcing redundant warp-ins for your opponent. He doesn't kill either of the Nexi, but he still does manage to tickle them a little bit. The Lurker's doing really well right now. Showtime is somehow up 10 workers despite losing most of his mining bases. He's still got 2 of his most important bases, but I mean, he lost his 3rd and his 4th. And they still have a fair bit of gas as well as minerals left, at least on the 4th, if not the 3rd. Something just got picked off in the north. Looks like some High Templar are up there as well. Units lost tab is actually ahead for Reynor. Reynor's been microing this like a beast. Those Zerglings, remember, they only have 1-2 upgrades, guys. Reynor never finished off his upgrades. No +3 carapace or anything like that. Likewise, though, Showtime, he's going back to full ground play. He's not trying to rebuild the carriers right now. He's playing... Okay, I say full ground. Correction, full pleb ground. Showtime is playing a mass Zealot army. He's on 42 Zealots. Now, Lurkers aren't very mobile. If you can catch him off guard, a few Zealots here, a few Zealots there, you can take good trades. But if you group those all up and there's Lurkers around, those Zealots look like the stupidest units you could possibly have. They will clump up like crazy. They will get ravaged by the Lurkers. He has to catch his opponent out of position. Oh, Showtime's maxed. He has no way of dealing with this. The Caustic Spray backstab. The Corruptors get in the back door, and they're going to kill one of his most important mining bases. Showtime will have to just rebuild that. Maybe build some cannons underneath. Oh my god, Broodlords. When did they get here? Abduct comes in. 2 Archons go down. High Templar gets abducted, but he doesn't focus fire it, so it actually will be able to walk out of trouble. Link never got made, by the way. Keep that in mind, guys. Nexus starts getting rebuilt. The bladders are slowly refilling. You can see them bubbling on the backs of these Corruptors, trying to get that next wave of Caustic Spray ready. The Zealots, one big volley of the Lurkers. They're all very damaged. Showtime's army's in Poop Town right now, guys. His army's in Poop Town. On the other hand, Reynor has no creep spread. No creep spread. He's in a bit of a jacked position himself. He will pee on the Nexus again, though. Reynor says, mate, is that a toilet you're building for me? I think it's a toilet. Showtime says, that's most definitely not a toilet. Get out! Nexus goes down without a cancel, though. Showtime too busy getting mad about him using his base as a toilet to cancel it. That's what Reynor's looking for. Reynor's on a really low economy of 54 workers, but he's got a good army. He's maxed out and he's causing problems. Oh, the Storm is pretty good. 3 Lurkers go down. 4th one almost goes down. Those Oracles get a good tag. That could allow him to jump on it, but the Broodlords standing in between Showtime and really collapsing on that army. Lurkers and Broodlords together is the ultimate anti-ground combo. Corruptors are still hanging out there. Showtime... Oh, no, not again. Showtime right now. Oh, God. No. Come on, man. The wall right now is suffering an acidic death. He keeps losing his mining Nexi. He's just not leaving any anti-air down there. He's going for a good push. Zealots are clearing that base, but he loses another Nexus. Showtime is down 50 army supply, and this is looking like, even with this hatchery snipe and 11 drone kills, I don't know, man. It looks like he's in just such a rough spot. Look at that. Abducting on the Tempest. Oh, good Storms. Great Storms. Clear the Hydras. But he's getting hunted down a little bit. Those Broodlords and Lurkers causing problems. Zealots are still there on the right. If they got rid of all those drones, that would have been massive. He does another recall. Good preservation of those units, but it feels like Showtime is kind of gumped up. Let's go to Showtime's camera. He's clearly tunnel visioned on kind of the front and keeping Reynor small and down. And he's done a great job of it. But if he just had one mining base behind us, if he'd left even one Stalker on that low ground down there, dealing with the Corruptors, this would be a very different game. He does start 2 Nexi to rebuild that economy, but it's going to be a few minutes until that starts going. In the meantime, Reynor's economy is also jacked up. He's got 3 minerals there, 4 mineral patches there, 7 mineral patches that are all about to mine out, and he's just restarting this base. This is 2 poor people fighting right now. Somewhere off on the sidelines, there's a Terran laughing in mules, going, God, look at the peasants fight. You know, this is basically that sick movie from the 2000s, Bum Fights, where they just paid homeless dudes to, like, beat the crap out of each other. Terran players watching this laughing at themselves going, that's, oh, peasant races, so dirty. Dirty Xenos, dirty Xenos. Tempest does manage to chase off those lurkers. You don't want to throw them away too badly. Corruptors and Vipers coming on forwards. 20 Corruptors, 2 Vipers there. 4 Broodlords are out. Not much on the ground. It's like 7 Lurkers and 9 Roaches. So I still worry the Zealots could find some value. Showtime's still got a crazy work account. So as these bases finish up, and they've just finished, he's going to get a much nicer income. And where do you go from here? I guess this base, and then this base, and then this base are the next ones. Reynor takes a slightly off spaced hatchery. You can tell Reynor's tilted, since his hatcheries are also tilted. Lurkers, pretty good. Oh, he gets another Tempest. Oh my god, he just snaps it. Yeah, air units are futile right now. Reynor just has the dominance over the skies. Blink is now finished. Gives a little bit of flexibility. Oh, that's not Corruptors. This time it's a Roach attack in the bottom. Stalker Zealot is actually not enough to beat that many Roaches. 3-2 upgrades for the Roaches. Still only 1-2 for the Zerglings. We've got 3-2 upgrades on the attack and shields for the Stalkers. No ground armor upgrades. And remember, only +2 air. If he ever swaps back to air, Showtime's going to have a hard time. Those Broodlords, though, if they come forward... Oh, that's an easy... Go, go, go. Blink, blink. Feedback, blink. Feedback, blink. He could deal with it. The Roach Lurker in the bottom, though, runs into these units, eats a big storm, gets forced back. He could have got rid of those Broodlords. That would have been massive. 12 Stalkers will one-shot Broodlords. They blink in, you just one-shot all 4 of them before they can do anything. They'll kill 1 Stalker. Stalkers will take out the Lurkers. Oh, Showtime's back in charge. His micro's looking really clean, man. Okay, Showtime's looking really clean. He's got 74... Wait, Showtime's building workers right now, guys. That doesn't make any sense. He's on 76 workers. Showtime just built 8 more workers. Oh, he's going to get jumped on. Oh, God. He's got more Zealots. I mean, those Storms were really nice, but the numbers are there for Reynor. Reynor just overwhelming very nicely. There's a battery at this base. He's going to try and make a big round of Archons by the looks of it. Units lost tab is still 3,000 resources in favor of Reynor. Mining one of the middle bases is huge for Showtime, but he does not need more probes. He's massively oversaturated already on some bases, surely? He's a little oversaturated on a few bases. I think he must have a lot of probes idling somewhere. Zealot Archon will defend this army with the help of the Revelation. The Lurker's getting some good damage. The Nexus, 30 hit points. I think Reynor targeted that with the Lurkers towards the end, but wasn't quite able to finish it. I'd love to see Showtime heal that up with the shield battery, maybe do an overcharge as well. So he's got a lot of idle workers. 6 there. He's got a few long distance miners there. 1 extra mining there. A few extra mining there. It's not too bad. He is actually making good use of the probes. Is Showtime? Which still doesn't fully make sense to me. I feel like there should be more idle than that. But I guess as these last little mineral patches run out, he'll have a massive excess of probes. And if you are butting up against your max supply, that becomes a big problem. Did he make 20 Blink Stalkers? Oh god, he made 20 Blink Stalkers, guys. Blink Stalkers are terrible versus Lurkers. You do not want to be here, Showtime. Oh, nice Adduct. He's going to have to repeat it. Double Adduct to get rid of the Archon. Zealot Archon Stalker in the south as well. He's making a lot more Zealots as well to mix in. Zerglings here, remember, they have Adrenal, but they're only 1-2 Zerglings. They are nowhere near as scary as they could be. This has been a bit of a funky game. Archon does get protected by Storm before going down to the Lurkers. A lot of Zerglings falling, but every Archon needs to take out like 30-40 Zerglings to be a cost efficient. I mean, okay, that's not actually the number. A Zergling costs 25 minerals, and Archon is 100 minerals, 300 gas, so 4 times 4. 16 Zerglings for every Archon to be equally cost efficient, assuming we're weighting minerals and gas evenly. Another push on the south. It's actually, he kept the Observer alive, killed the Sporer, pushing the Lurkers back. Reynor's doing a good job of trying to fall back here. The Observer, Archon, Stalker, Zealot coming in. And he's ready to push in on the north. He knows that Reynor doesn't have that many mobile units. So he's doing a pretty good job here. But uh-oh. Zergling's getting in. Needs a Storm on top. Nice Psy Storm. But once again, whenever he gets overrun, Reynor pulls further ahead in that unit's lost tab. Showtime is 5,000 resources behind in the unit's lost tab. And even though it looks like he's cascading over the top, and he does have more mining, the problem is he's going to run out of that mining. If he could take this base, which he's about to try, or if he could deny the top base, those are the 2 things he could do. You can tell he wants to put enough pressure in the south that Reynor abandons the top position, and that's when he can take it out. He's going to take out the Spire here in the main. Looks like he already killed the Greater Spire. and that Spire that we saw him snipe earlier. The Zealots do save themselves, pushing in big storms. He gets feedbacks on the Vipers, takes down both of those Vipers with the Stalker focus fire. Few Overlords going down, not enough to put him in supply block danger just yet, but some of these Zealots could go to town in that main base. The Broodlord Lurker's coming in. This is when, like I said, he wants to pull him down so the Zealots can do it, but Reynor realizes that hatchery is his lifeline. He leaves those units there. Stalkers blink forward. They take out one Broodlord, two Broodlords. Nice storms to fight off the Zerglings. Loses High Templar, but he's doing a great job right now. If he could get up and clear the tech in the main, this would be a massive win for Showtime. It would lock Reynor in this corner of the map and also secure this base in the bottom. That's what I love about this push. It started very cost inefficient, but now that he's broken through the Zerg frontline, it's actually evening out. Very close to even. These last few trades amazing for Showtime. It seems like even though he's down on army supply right now, Reynor can't get his army supply together, and he's got 36 wasted army supply and corruptors, which is his big problem. Those guys probably need to go make more PP because they're not really helping on the defense. It's one Broodlord, a few Lurkers. Losing the Greatest Spire was a disaster for Reynor. If he had a few more Broodlords, maybe he could hang on, but without that, it's going to be very difficult. He's still got one Lurker and a pack of Roachling guarding his main base, but that is a big Protoss army coming to ruin his day. Is there an Observer in here? No, but the Oracle is there. Wait, he doesn't have Revelation. He's out of energy. The Oracle's laser beam is on. Oh my god, there's Lurkers coming in from behind. There's a Lurker right underneath him. Spikes from right underneath him. Uh-oh, Showtime. Is this a bit too wasteful? That Lurker's doing big damage. The Stalker's going down. He's going to try and storm these units as they come back up. That one Lurker has been a day ruiner. The Broodlord taking out the High Templar as well. Oh man. This feels very wasteful, but he's going to take advantage by attacking up here at the same time. He says, okay, you moved south, I moved north. Corruptors go PP! The double Nexus Snipe is going to come in again. Oh my god, he's taking out like 5 Nexi with PP this game. Reynor going for the technical caustic spray maneuver there. The Archon High Templar still clearing out the hive in the main. These Archons trying to escape. Showtime spent a lot of units to do this, but he's down at 69,000 resources lost. This is getting crazy. He just lost his 2 Nexi. His income gets diddled. And the Corruptors do get sniped by the Stalkers there as well. Lurker trying to shoot that Archon. High Templar, Archon, Oracle on the right. We've got the Archon Zealot here as well. A couple of Lurkers and a Broodlord are there. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful. Don't want to throw these Archons away. Showtime doing fantastic multi-prong. He's got this base mining as well, which is huge. He's rebuilding those 2 Nexi. He's maintaining mining on a very dangerous base. He's basically stealing the mining off one of Reynor's bases while all this is happening. So even though the fighting's kind of messy and scrappy, it's still close. And remember, he has way more mining than Reynor throughout this, and Reynor's looking like he's out of steam. He's got 1 Roach, 1 Broodlord, 7 Lurkers. That is all that's keeping him alive. His tech, he can build Hydras, or Infestors or Swarmos. Those are the only units he can build. And look at this. He tries to do wee-wee one more time. Stalkers chase him down. Shut down a few more of those Corruptors. He was at 15 Corruptors. Now he's down to 13. Archon gets another one there as well. The Lurkers do come south. But what do we got? 4 mineral patches there and a relatively fresh base in the top. That's all Reynor has keeping him alive. He's now abandoned the defenses on the top since Showtime has not attacked there in so long. But look at this. Showtime mining this base out. I'd love to see him take the gases here as well. I think he's realizing that 75 workers may have been too many in this game. Oh, Lurker harass. Get out of there. Showtime's going to lose a big bunch of probes to that first. A couple of volleys. Luckily, a lot of the probes just barely out of range. 6 workers go down. 3 Corruptors going by for another wee-wee squad. Zealot Archons looking for the surround. Showtime! Showtime coming in from both sides. Storm, Archon, Zealot all over the shop. Heck diddly. Yeah, does he have detection? He's got an Observer coming in from behind. It came in so late, though. The Observer, and they get sniped as well. Reynor with the Corruptor Overseer snipe. Oh, no. He keeps sniping all of the Observers with the Corruptors, guys. And the Corruptor P squad in the bottom left at the same time, going down there, trying to take down that Nexus. He must have forgotten to activate that during the battle, as they haven't charged up their damage. They've now charged it up. 35 damage a second from each one of those. These Corruptors flying around, seeing the army coming back right now. Oh, they do not get the Nexus. Showtime still has these 2 bases, but man, that last fight was really nasty. It looked like Showtime had the sick flank, but the Corruptor Overseer keeps sniping the Observers. And this is why you actually want Oracles rather than Observers for detection, because all you need to do is get in there for an instant, reveal the Lurkers, and run away. Whereas the Observer has to hang around to provide that detection. And when it hangs around, it gets shot down pretty damn consistently when they've got Corruptor Overseer nearby. The Zealots trying to hang out, do what they can. These 2 lads are still down there drinking beers, smashing some 40s of Bard, trying to get ready for the next wave. Still a few Stalkers left on standby, though. Showtime will not make that mistake again. He can also transfer most of these probes to the bottom right. Start long distance mining would be the way to go. Stalkers are going to defend it. It looks like the Wee squad on the left has run out of steam. He's going to try and hit the right, but there's Corruptors and High Templar there right now. That Overlord will go down as well. Rain is trying to secure a new base in the top left. He's also trying to build Hydras and remake his Lurker Den. Showtime, his income is actually less than Reynor's right now. He needs this bottom right base, and he's got to deny this base. Otherwise, the efficiency of Reynor in the long term is going to checkmate him. I'd love to see the Hive get sniped. At some point, keep trickling in Zealots or something there to do what you can. I think that the general movement was so good for him. Right now, Reynor is back in this game, but is he really? He has 3 Lurkers and a Broodlord, guys. And he's making, what, a few Zerglings, Hydras? His army's so tiny. Then again, he's taking out the gateways, which is not too important just yet. There's plenty of gates for the economy we're at. Showtime only has a few Immortals Archons and a few High Templar. Both sides have pretty kind of dodgy armies right now, man. A few Zealot Archons try to run by on the left. Lurkers say no. That hatchery does go down. The production of Reynor is pretty limited at this point with just 3 hatcheries and the Hive still alive. Oh, Broodlord harass. Reynor comes in, snipes 4 probes like the savage he is, and he gets back with 5 hit points. Oh, that's so annoying for Showtime. The Zealot Archon comes in with an Observer, though. They're going to take out that Lurker, assuming the Observer does chase, which it looks like it will. Wait, no, he knows the army's going to come and get him. Oh, he gets trapped. The Hunter becomes the hunted. He's in big trouble. Here we go. Zerglings jumping on top of some Stalkers as well. Showtime is struggling right now to deal with all this. That Broodlord will come back for more later. Zealots on the top do retreat. Corruptors still doing wee-wee on the production of the Protoss player right now. This is a wild first game in this best of 5, man. This is a wild first game. The Broodlord comes back in again. Stalker is going to focus it. Does blink forward, take it out. Showtime needs to push forward. If he can kill all these Overlords or this base in the top right, that will limit Reynor's ability to reproduce in his money. The Zealot Archon warps in. He needs to warp a Stalker in the main or he's going to lose all of his production. He's about to be down to 5 gateways. Okay. Reynor does actually break that midstream. Ooh! 11 drones stacked up. They're not the most important unit, but kills are kills. Anything to reduce the material the Zerg has on the board is probably decent. Lurker Den, Hydra Den, and Hatchery all in danger. This is the top base that Reynor cares about. I'd love to see a few Zealots in that main. This bottom right is in trouble. 41 probes getting transferred over here right now. Oh me, oh my. He's got a recall. He doesn't have enough money for a big warp in right now. It's going to be a big Zealot Archon army. That leaves his natural open. Don't know if Reynor realizes that. Reynor might try and trap this army over here. He says, you've used recall. You can't get out now. This army needs to come north. He needs to get these guys out of here. He needs to get... You don't want to get this army trapped in this corner of the map. I'm going to take out both hatcheries. That Lurker Den will eventually bleed down as well. It'll take a few minutes, but it will. You do need creep or Zerg buildings will take damage over time when they're not on creep. The hatchery and the extractor being the exception to that, as they can be built anywhere as long as they are, in the extractor's case, built on a gas geyser. 2 more Corruptors down the bottom. This is where I want to see Reynor go ultimate Chad mode, morph another Broodlord, and harass this base just for the lulz. Because I'll tell you as Showtime, if someone makes a Broodlord harass behind a mineral line, that's not even a good move. It's an annoying move. And part of that is tilting. When your opponent's doing little troll moves to annoy you, it does start to trigger you. Not to mention the endless wee-wee on your bases. Stalker does go after those Corruptors, but they take out the Stargate, run away. There is still 2 Stargates, 2 Robos, and 6 Gateways left, which is more than enough production for the scraps of income that are left on this map. I love that Showtime's long-distance mining those couple 100 minerals. The gas is already eaten up on that base. No other bases have been forgotten, really. Showtime's got that base. Reynor's got this base. And these will be the last 4,000 or 5,000 resources, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 resources they mine on this game. And from there, it's like, it's out, man. Corruptors go wee-wee. Archon Stalker tries to deal with it. Zerglings come in and get 7 probes. Don't think Showtime cares. He has so many workers, still 56 workers, and not really having enough spaces for them to mine. He does build a few gateways, so definitely regretting losing those gateways he lost before. Not sure I can get behind that, but I guess he just wants the ability to remax. He's on Mass Zealot right now. Reynor's ground army is still pretty weak. It's 13 Lurkers. He's just making Lurkers 2 at a time. I mean, he's so fragile. I'd love to see Showtime go back to that 2-pronged pressure, break these rocks, have an army on the right, an army on the left, and look for Reynor to make mistakes. If you surround this army, it dies to Zealot surrounds pretty easily, but you've got to set up that surround very nicely. If your units are clumped up at all, the Lurker splash is going to be devastating. Zealot, Archon, Immortal coming forward. Observers there as well. This is good. Get damage. Now pull back. Don't go in too deep. Really nice damage, though, for Showtime. Oh, he's tempted to storm. Big storm on the mineral line. Gets only 1 or 2 drones. But that is nice. You can also storm the lava to ruin his production. I know that sounds kind of silly. But the armor, the 10 armor does not help against spell damage. Cool tag in there. Definitely want to see these rocks get taken out. We've got 3 Immortals, 10 Archons, 10 Stalkers, 3 High Templar, and 30 Zealots. A few more High Templar could be nice. Disruptors would also be nice. The fact that there's no Broodlords is a huge problem, I would say, for Reynor. Because you could just deal with this with Disruptors. There's no Vipers. Like, Disruptors would actually win the game right now. Now, it's easy for me to think of that. I see everything. Showtime doesn't, but he should be able to finish this. He's up 50 army supply. It's Zealot army supply. So it's the lowest caliber of army. He just needs to not chuck a Zerg. Pig, what does chucking a Zerg mean? I answer this every cast. If you don't know at this point, you're silly. It's where you grab your army and shove it into a choke point and get it killed for no reason when all you had to do is not do that to win the game. Showtime gets the base 7 drones. His own production is getting ransacked. He's going to warp in more Zealots. He's making carriers right now. That's another way to checkmate your opponent. Reynor's down to 1 base plus the hive in the bottom right corner of the map. These trades are looking perfectly fine for Showtime. He is still up 154 to 84 army supply. If Reynor brings this game back from here, he is the wizard of all wizards. He is an absolute savage. He's killed 9 Nexi, mostly through Caustic Spray, which is codename for urine. Urine. I say urine. I don't know why. Sometimes I start speaking American. Do you guys say urine? Actually, I don't think that's American either. I think that's British. British say urine. Anyways. And they say urinal, actually. Yeah, I had this conversation with Kalaris when we were in Sweden. He's like, oh yeah, it's the urinal. And I was like, what did you call it? He's like, it's the urinal. And I don't know, I'm probably saying it slightly wrong, but it was something in that vein. It broke my Australian brain. I was like, I don't know what you just said, man. Anyways, Zealot, Immortal, Archon, Stalker in the top right. Oh, here we go. Lurker, Corruptor going down the left side. Dude, this is the last base. The Observer goes down, though. Those Lurkers pulling back. He's got to kill the Spores and then get on top. The Lurkers are trying to pull away. Is that the only Observer? That's the only Observer. Do not lose that Observer, Showtime. Whatever you do. There's still another Lurker. He gets it. He gets it. He's getting them all. The Spore Crawler goes down. The other Lurker falls. Nicely done here by Showtime. And that should be it. Don't chase into that. Drops a Storm there on the Lurkers to pepper him. Corruptors come in. Reynor says, man, I have one weapon that never has failed me. It's the Wee. And you know what? Those Corruptors are actually very exposed to that Wee as well. They're going to go down if he doesn't recall them. Showtime. Oh, no. He's going to lose his carriers here. And these Zealots for nothing. Ooh, good fight for Reynor. Problem for Reynor is that there's a very easy win condition for Showtime called a move over here. These are the last buildings. Reynor's trying to build some drones to sneak them out. But if they don't get out, which they won't, he's dead. Showtime has buildings everywhere. He has stuff down here. He's making more gateways. He can make units forever. And Reynor has lost his base before that base got mined out while Showtime's still mining. These are the last buildings here. Showtime's already hunting for extra buildings. He finds this extractor on the right. Hatchery trying to hide in the corner of the base. That is a cute move, but the Zealots catch a glimpse of it. Showtime was not born yesterday, and he will not let that one go down. Reynor's trying to hide another drone up there. He's going to try and start another hatchery up here. He's like, oh no, it got spotted. Ah, and that's it. GG. Good game, says Reynor. Showtime. Fighting back, man. He just did not give Reynor room to breathe. And whilst he lost a lot of Nexi because he wasn't dealing with the Corruptors that well, he never took his foot off the neck of Reynor. Never let Reynor get going in that late game. And that really is what led to his victory. Very well played by Showtime. All right, well, that was a pretty darn impressive victory. A hard-fought one. Hard to get Reynor out of the game, but Showtime says mass, Zealot, and mobility and continuing to just keep up a high expansion rate is the way. And I really like it. I like that he never went back into air until the very end of that game. And it turned out there was still just a few too many Corruptors left, so it didn't quite work out, but I really like the way Showtime played that. Basilisk's Reynor in the top right on the other hand. Terrible play. Appallingly bad. Just kidding, of course. I really thought he was back in it a few times, and then Showtime just wouldn't bloody let him do anything, would he? And I guess just having so many units in the Corruptors and just not really being able to keep his economy alive for long enough was very difficult. I think there's an argument that with some better melee upgrades, more active like Ling Hydra armies and stuff like that could have done a bit better. It's always tough when your opponent's that mobile with Master Zealot, when you're on essentially like Roaches, Hydras, Lurkers. You can't really fight that, especially with only 1-2 Zerglings. Mobility-wise, he can run circles around you. Having Ling Bane or, you know, Hydra Ling Bane or Roach Ling Bane, squads of those guys running around wrecks the Zealots, right? But without the Banelings and some like Roaches or Hydras or whatever all together, The Zealots can kind of outnumber and overwhelm or run past you and run around the lurkers. Nice annoying probe harassment to start things off. Second gas goes down after the Cybercore. And second pylon goes down as well. Double Queen on the way. REYNOR didn't bother doing any drone scout or anything. That's pretty rare in this matchup. And against a guy like SHOWTIME, you'll almost never see it. I feel like drone scout in general, you don't really see drone scout in this matchup, but you'll see proxy hatchery, right? It's like, hey, if I'm sending a drone across, I'm going to build a hatchery and block their expansion. It's been a while since we've seen that at the top level from anyone other than Dark, really. Bly doing pretty well with it over in the regionals in Europe was looking fantastic, but other than that, I haven't seen as much of it as I'd like. Those openings are just so dynamic. There's so many weird little twists and turns based on how the player reacts. Gonna go for a quick third base. A few Zerglings coming across the map. SHOWTIME once again playing very defensive. So he doesn't want to pile on the pressure. I always like it when people chrono adepts across the map, but on a big map like this, I definitely agree with it. You know, just go quick Oracle, only build one adept, don't chrono it. Chrono your probes really hard. I think these are all good choices from SHOWTIME to play for such a big giant map. Now for me the question is, how do you deal with REYNOR on such a big gigantic map? Because this fourth, this third, they're miles away from each other. Like just look at this wide open area. So I imagine he's probably going to wall off this side with some gateways, build like a semi-wall over here to limit some space, something like that as well. If you get all that set up, it can do quite okay. Maybe Stalk a Storm, which is a pretty decent style. SHOWTIME's definitely very adequate at that. I would imagine, though, if you try to play Zealot style again, Nidus Swarmos could be a reality. It's not the greatest map for it, but hey, Nidus down here to hit your third. Nidus over here to throw into the main base and onto that fourth base potentially. There are opportunities, not to mention it's just, if you get a Nidus inside the base, that's very far back for the Protoss to deal with as well. Oracle and Stalk are going to clean up this Overlord, but it's going to keep them occupied. Zerglings will probe forward, maybe look to waste a bit of Oracle energy. Very adequate question mark in the Twitch chat. I stand called out, guys. That is what we call a redundant sentence. That's, yeah. It's like saying something is fantastically poor. Yeah. Extremely sufficient. Yeah, sorry. Try not to use those, guys. I'll try to speak better words for you all. Forge and Twilight Council on the way, as well as 2 more gases. There are times I listen back on my commentary and I'm like, wow, what are you? You got apples in your mouth or something? You got feels like your tongue's getting tangled on something. Oracles ain't finding anything. Did he build spores? He did build 2 spores. So he's played pretty safe. Spore in the natural, spore in the third. Still a very successful block, and with the quick melee upgrade already 20 seconds underway, like that was a super fast Evo chamber. This is a very good start for REYNOR. Hits the Oracle that already was damaged, slows down its shields, regenerating really nicely. Alright guys, so we've got extra gateways coming in. We've got a Robo there as well, +1 charge on the way, as well as 4 gateways. Third Nexus is there, 48 probes in total versus 51 drones. But feels like REYNOR's comfortable. He's got great Overlord vision. His creep spreading nicely down the front. He's on a total of 6 queens, going on 7. He's going to go Roach Warren and +1 melee, which means he's gearing up for Ravagerling Bane. It is charge style again. And with the late lair, it's very difficult for REYNOR to confirm that's happening. Now, this is a dodgy pylon positioning. That's near the corner of the Nexus. Remember, the corner of the Nexus is curved, so you can't really wall off very well there. Does mean the Lings could surround those Adepts pretty easily if they want to. It's a dangerous move to take. Man, I don't like SHOWTIME's positioning there. I feel like those Lings could take out those units pretty easily. Now that he's got the Oracles and a few more Zealots there, he should be okay. But good snipe by REYNOR. He gets 2 probes. He takes a 4th base on the left. Second Evo chamber and a Baneling Nest. Is he going to drop an Infestation Pit right now, guys? Guys, look for the Infestation Pit. I can sense when REYNOR's in greed mode. This man is in disgusting greed mode right now. We're on his camera. Watch him defend this. Beautiful. Pulls back the drones from the Oracles. Lings are still looking for kills at the front. Roaches are on the way. He's looking to start +2 melee, but it wasn't quite finished just yet. +1 melee is finished now. He should be jumping to his natural to start that +2 in a second. There we go. Really clean play for him so far. Double upgrade so early. He hasn't really droned his 4th yet. It would actually be insane to go Infestation Pit this far, so that was completely miscalled by me. The same Zealot Archon pressure from last game's coming in, but look at this. The battery's not ready. The battery's not ready. He could get in that mineral line. REYNOR, oh, good Zealot warp in. Oracles are there as well, easily defended for Showtime, but it forces the warp in at home, which means he's a bit weaker at the front. 11 Roaches, 7 Queens, 22 Zerglings, and a worker advantage. Showtime is getting out macroed right now. REYNOR has gotten away with a very smooth early game. He says, dude, you built 2 Oracles and you killed nothing except an Overlord? I'm going to get ahead in this game. Showtime says, screw that. I'm taking a quick 4th, man. 7-minute 4th base can do really nicely, but he's clearly swapped into becoming the defender in this game rather than the aggressor. And REYNOR takes advantage. He says, no worries. Let's go fully saturate that 4th base, go up to 83, 85 workers. Baneling speed's on the way. He's already got Roach speed. And you know what REYNOR likes to do? Break the tower, clear the rocks, build a hatchery. That's going to give him gold minerals. He already likes to swarm off about this drone count and just mass Ravager Baneling and roll it at the Protoss. And he wants to get going soon before Showtime has all the tools to deal with it. Right now, there's a few Archons there. Gateway Wall is trying to get erect right now. He's going to go to 12 gateways. That's a super high gateway count for Showtime, actually. Yes, he's got so many gateways coming up. But he's got to get Disruptors out. He's only got 1 so far. And I feel like Disruptors are so god tier against REYNOR's style, but REYNOR's micro makes them nowhere near as good as they are against a normal Zerg with normal control. Keep your eyes on REYNOR's spreads versus those Disruptors. I have seen him so many times take so little damage to Disruptors, and it's got to be frustrating for players like Showtime. We'll see, though. Showtime's a master of defense. His Archon count's growing. He's about to go to 6 Archons, but he doesn't have much time left. +2 melee's almost there. The timing is going to kick in the next 20 seconds, and REYNOR's going to go. And he's up 40, 50 supply. A lot of Banelings in the mix, which make that supercharged supply. He's got a bunch of Roaches ready for the Prism as well. He realizes the Zealot drop is a common counter to this. Zealots aren't very good on the defense, so Protoss like to warp Zealots in to make the Zerg be safe at home. Showtime sees that, decides obviously not worth warping in. Here we go, let's go! REYNOR, nice spready. He loses only 1 Ravager, the first Disruptor shot. Second Disruptor shot hits only 1 Roach. Third one gets a lot of Banelings. Archons in the bottom getting a lot of damage on them. He needs to get some battery overcharge going on some of these Archons to heal them up. Battery overcharge does go down. Those Archons on the right are chasing the Ravagers. Decent fight for Showtime, but he's got to make sure he doesn't lose these Archons in the chase. Queens did walk across the map as well. Not a bad first wave there, but Showtime did not heal his Archons on the battery overcharge. He's got an Archon on 30 shields, an Archon on 67. He's trying to make more batteries right now, but the next wave is going to come in before those Archons have regenerated. That is a big mistake for him. He also lost a Disruptor, maybe two Disruptors, and he only got 1 effective Disruptor shot in that whole fight. Zealot drop tries to come in. We've got Zealot run by going down the left. That seems like a good idea, but look at REYNOR's map control. We're on REYNOR's camera. He's going to spot that, guys, and watch his army collapse on that left and deal with those Zealots. Oh, he's going to send Roaches there, actually. He's keen on dead set breaking this wall right now. Doesn't want to blow the Banelings up on the wall. That's pretty inefficient. He's going to try and just use the Roaches and the Lings to do it. Oh my god. Crazy attack here for REYNOR on the left. Something tried to go in, but the Archons blocked it. He's trying to shove his way into the mineral line. I cannot believe that got in there. But Showtime's too quick on the pull. Showtime's way too quick on the pull. Showtime shuts it down. Showtime just deflected that with gateways. His Zealot attack in the top left also killed a few drones, forced REYNOR's attention there. How the heck did Showtime hold that so well? That was so impressive. Now, he's got to still leave Archons on the left. There's a big weak point in his wall here. If Banelings run in, click on that pylon. 4 or 5 Banelings to kill the pylon, and then they're in the mineral line. He has to be watching for that. Prism comes in on the top right. Zealot drop in the main base. Anything to buy time right now. He sees no Hive. Not that you really need to check. When you're playing against REYNOR's Ravager Bane, he never goes Hive. He is very slow to transition. He will massling Bane and smash it into you for 10-15 minutes, and he'll keep taking expansions while he does it while you're stuck on 4 bases. He will look to just wear you down by having more income and hopefully getting on your worker line. That being said, Showtime has no need to move out to take a 5th. He needs to just hang on and defend for now. And he's in a decent spot for it. 2 Archons and a Disruptor on the left. Warp in there. It's very important to stop those Banelings. But the Banelings go to the right side. Disruptor shot goes pretty deep. It just separates the Roaches and the Ravagers. But oh man, those probes are gone. Those probes are gone. Are they though? Are they? Actually, only loses 10. Disruptors do stumble into the front of the fight there. Looks like a few Disruptors do go down. Only 1 goes down in that fight, actually. 10 probes fall, but look at the units lost tab. Amazing trading for Showtime. Gonna lose a probe or two on this base. That one Zergling is causing problems. Queens are still up there on the front. Immediately reprobing is Showtime, trying to replace those gateways as well. He needs to keep replacing cannons and batteries everywhere. He's got to be really sure to make sure he keeps on replacing all of that. He's got a big army. 8 Archons, about to be 10 Archons, 4 Disruptors, 14 Zealots. You do not fight that with Ravager Baneling, and the Hive has just started. Reynor's propensity to just stick on lair attack, getting him in trouble on a big map like Altitude. He has not found the damage yet. He is down 7,000 resources in the units lost up, and he does not have that much of an income advantage, not by any means. Showtime's starting to bank up resources and max out here. The moment those gates go down, balls are going to be unleashed. Showtime says, that's what happens, mate. You open those gateways, that's like taking my undies off. That is not a good idea unless you're ready to get down and dirty. Reynor immediately regretted his decision as 4 roaches went down to the disruptor shot. Reynor's still got a lot of numbers though, and if you go on creep, he will find good fights. He's still digging for mistakes from Showtime. Speak of the devil, finds 2 Archons with a Lynx around. Slick play right there. Archons coming over back from the center towards the left side. And it is 1-0 for Showtime in this series. He's looking excellent in game 2. If he could go up 2-0 to best of 5, this would be fantastic. I think he's going to go for the big counter attack. I don't think he's going to expand. You can kind of sense he wants to get out there and kill. But as I say that, no, he moves out to a 5th base. He needs to get rid of this creep on his doorstep. I'd love to see him move out, clear that creep, move to the right, clear that creep, get back. He's just worried because his army's not very mobile. So it's kind of tough to do that. I think continuing to warp in Zealots and run them in towards the natural, not a bad idea, as well as maybe drop them in the main. And Reynor, what's he doing, guys? He's made a hive. Now remember, there's only one thing Reynor makes a hive for in this matchup. Where's his spawning pool? There it is. Adrenal glands. This is the one reason Reynor makes hive. Just to make his Zerglings bite faster. That's essentially it. That's what he cares about. He might get Vipers for the Disruptors in a little bit, but for now, it's just keep making Ravagerling Bane and use that amazing Reynor multitasking to find a way to victory. Other players look so dead at this stage, and I'd say Reynor is, but he's Reynor. Look at that. He gets a base, gets 5 probes, kills some Zealots. Bunch more probes get caught out. Balls go flying. Oh, he gets a few big shots, does Showtime, but the Banelings crash in. 3 Disruptors go down just like that. Remember, he's only got 1 Robo. He just lost another Disruptor. This is a problem for him. He needs to build another Disruptor, and he needs to chrono those bad boys. Because now he's on Mass Archon. Archon cannot beat Roach Ravager unless you've got, like, Disruptors and stuff behind it. Because the Roach Ravager can kite against those Archons. Archons only have 3 range. Roaches have 4. Ravagers have 5 range. And those units are just a bit more mobile. So they can kind of kite you down. And look at this. He's going to go in for another snipe on the 5th base. Showtime's starting to take damage here. Reynor is just so good at avoiding the Disruptors. That's his magic skill in this matchup that allows him to be so strong. It is just micro countering Disruptors, you know. What's the counter to the Disruptors? Micro. Oh, it's a lot of Banelings! Banelings! Oh, the Archon spread at the last second. A crazy push for Reynor. He throws away like 50 Banelings. But if he can break the front line, it'll all be worth it. Disruptor gets a few roaches on the left. The Immortal did very well thinning out those roaches. The Zealots are in there. Ooh, he's going to get a few drones. Okay, there are roaches and lings about to pop, though. Getting the Spire would be good. Showtime's not watching it right now. He's got the Prism up there. He's going to try and push and get rid of the gold base. That's a good attempt there. He's got 2 Disruptors, 3 out on the map. 2 of them are on the front lines right now. They are both empty, but there we go. Recharging. First ball goes out. Nice, Freddy. She hits only a single queen. And the other Disruptor gets focused down. The Archon's getting focused down. The micro of Reynor is insane. He makes Archon Disruptor look so bad. This composition legitimately looks broken versus anyone else's Ravagerling Bane. Another Disruptor shot hits not a single unit. Reynor is literally just dancing right now. He's moonwalking backwards through the Disruptor balls. Everyone else thought dodgeball was a brutal game, getting bullied in American high schools. In Italy, they figured out what dodgeball was, apparently, for Reynor's entire childhood. And I'm guessing he was just chased down the streets by a gang of Italian roughnecks who just threw rocks at him. Because this man doesn't get hit by anything. He's practiced dodging in the Matrix for years. It's like he's got bullet time. He's playing like Max Payne or like Fear or one of those games. You press the bullet time button, everything slows down, and you just lol and don't get hit by anything. Archon Disruptor doing exactly what they can. We've got Disruptors flying out right now. Roach Ravager coming in from all sides. The Disruptor shot's going out on either side. He's got to pull back to the safety. Showtime needs some time to regrow, but without a 5th base, the Mass Roach Ravager army is coming in. Mass Roach Ravager is not meant to be good at this stage of PvZ, but much like Dark, him and Reynor seem to be the only 2 players who 16 minutes into a Zerg vs Protoss ruin a tier 3 Protoss army with just Roaches and Ravagers. Once again, avoids the worst of the Disruptor shot and kills 1 or 2 Disruptors in return. The Bile's dropping across this army. He's damaging the Archon so much. the immobility of the Archons, the way they get stuck behind each other is such a huge problem when you're up against REYNOR because his micro is so next level. SHOWTIME doing fantastic control with the Prism. But man, REYNOR is just on another level. This man, I don't know what he eats for breakfast, but I'm going to start eating that every day and see if it makes me less bad at StarCraft because that is ridiculous. What the hell, man? All right, guys, going into the next game and SHOWTIME coming in. He is going to block the expansion, force REYNOR to take a third. Pretty good idea. This is a smallish map. I think this will probably be paired up with chronoing 2 Adepts across the map. Wouldn't be surprised if SHOWTIME also goes Cybercore before Gate. Actually, I would. Let's be real, it's SHOWTIME. This man isn't going to go Cybercore before Nexus and send a probe across. He'd be like, oh, that hurts my economy too much. He still will chrono 2 Adepts, though, and try to do some damage for sure. Gonna move down for that Nexus. And, yep, Nexus before Cybercore. So if you block their base and you go Cybercore before Nexus, you can rally Adepts across really fast. The problem with any Cybercore before Nexus build is you then need to get a quick second pylon, and that delays the second gas, which delays you getting a Stargate. So you kind of end up in an awkward spot. Cybercore does go down here about a minute 36, guys. Not too bad. Probe starts up behind it. Probe still harassing. I've noticed REYNOR is exceptionally good at stopping this probe harassment without pulling a drone to attack it. Look at it. Look at that. He just immediately doubles back up. He's monitoring these drones as they go in and just spamming click to counteract the fact that they want to bounce off and find a different mineral patch because their AI says, oh, this is occupied. Someone's already mining here. This hatchery is a little slow to get that queen started. That was a bit awkward for REYNOR. He had the supply free there, I do believe. So his second queen's a little late. Does go for a quick link speed. Immediate chrono across the map. No surprise to anyone. He's rallied it to the right, so he's looking to try and hunt down the early Zerglings coming in, I believe. So he's expecting REYNOR to rally a Zergling down the right side. He's going to chase it off with the Adept while shading through the middle. And then his second Adept will hopefully intercept them as they come. But he ends up going straight across the map. It's a good choice if you've chronoed it. I don't think there's any point hunting down these lings. Second Adept can deal with it, especially if you chrono that bad boy out. Or bad girl, I should say. The Adepts are mostly ladies. Stargate does start up there. Probe's getting chronoed on both sides. Dev's going to start shading forwards. And there we go. Depth shading to the left. We've got Lings coming in towards the natural right now. We've got 2 Adepts out of the map. They're going to join up. How many Lings have we got? 10 at home for REYNOR. He's got his third base started. He doesn't have much in the main base. Main base has only got 2 Lings and a Queen. That's the prime spot to attack. But look, he's going to distract SHOWTIME's multitasking, make it really hard for SHOWTIME to micro this, while also microing the Adepts. And the Adepts, because he's busy, end up only threatening one base. They don't get anything done. They just get a single Zergling. Meanwhile, REYNOR's like, I'm going to kill your probe. And he gets it. So annoying to play against a guy like REYNOR. So good at the speed, the multitasking. Does it that way. The Lings split up. He lures the Adept to the one that was clicked to. Continues to find damage. The other Adepts on the other side, one of those has gone down. But this Adept does win this fight. So REYNOR right now picking a fight with the Bully. The Bully does have bigger muscles, but no, gets it. Oh man, 10 Zerglings go down, but 2 Adepts and a probe. That is well worth it for REYNOR. His third base is finished. He's building more queens, more drones, all that good stuff. Oracle does find an exposed mineral line. Oh, he's so quick! He's so quick! He only loses 1 drone and does a spore trick. He can let the other spore finish because he'll need that anyway. Dude, that was so good. I mean, mining time is not free. Such good scrambling defense by REYNOR. Third base is going to go down a bit late here for SHOWTIME. The early game's been a bit disrupted. Not spending his chronos on probes, using it on Adepts and not finding the damage for those Adepts. Such a frustrating thing as the way that happens. And that's why I do think core first, it's harder for them to do that because you get your third Adept out so much earlier, your 2 Adepts across the map earlier. It's harder for them to basically say, hey, I'll just sneak a few Lings in and it'll totally take the fire away from your early game pressure. As it is, REYNOR comes out way on top in this early game. He's only even on workers, so he's doing a bit of a... I guess he got supply block probably on 58 before, maybe. Evo Chamber's coming up pretty fast. It's not a super fast one, not as quick as the previous game. And behind this, a Forge is on the way. SHOWTIME going to be starting those early upgrades. Here we go. Oracle's coming in behind the natural. Queens do have something to say about it. The Oracle's turn to fight, but you got to be careful. Just grabs 2 drones, damages the queen, has to pull back. Well microed by Showtime. 2 adepts are going to come in behind that, but there's plenty of zerglings nearby. This is not good for Reynor. For Showtime, sorry. This is great for Reynor if they commit. He only gets a couple of drones, and that's it. Good surround. Great surround. That's a shutdown. Oof. 2 adepts on the right have to back off because the overlords are so far out. They see these adepts from miles away. Reynor's Ring of Vision is excellent. I'd love to have another overlord down the right side as well. Look at this, 4 oracles coming in. They need damage. They can't just keep chilling. There's 2 queens and a spore in the main. It's going to be hard to find that damage. Tries to pull 1 oracle back. Queen goes down. Grabs 3 drones and tries to go for the queen. Ends up grabbing 6 drones. Okay, that was really well microed by Showtime. Preserving every oracle. Amazing play. Problem. These guys can no longer dive like that ever again in this game. They basically have to wait for their shields to regen, fly down the right side of the map. Maybe they can cancel the 4th on the way out. That 4th base is gaining a lot of hit points very quickly. And they don't have that much energy. If they go there right now, they can take it out. That'd be their best bet. Thank you so much, Grublin, for the sub, mate. Give you guys proper props after the game. Oracle trying to move down the right. Come on. Let's go for it. I think he maybe can cancel. That's 4 oracles. They do a lot of damage. Does he go for it? No, he's going to go for the damage. That's not a good call. It's creep getting close to this base as well. So I think Reyn is pretty confident now. These oracles are just 2 damage. You can't fight those queens. There's no way. Just grabs a single drone, turns on the lasers, forgets to turn them off for a second. Forgets to turn the lasers off for a few seconds. Oh, Showtime. I guess he goes back and gets another drone. That's something. The queens are there to deflect it. Showtime's moving out for a quick 4th base, but there's a Spire on the way. Reynor playing Spire. Oh, very cool. What the hell is this, guys? Is Showtime going 4th base without Twilight Council? Okay, he's finally starting charge at the 7-minute mark. Zerglings try to get in the natural. Adept does hold the wall for a warp in to come in. This is a really funky style from Showtime. A bunch of Zealots, Adepts, Sentries, and an Immortal. A quick 4th base. He's got to defend that 4th base, though. Charge coming in very late. I feel like Mutalisks counter everything he's doing. He's got his first Disruptor on the field, a second one on the way. And look at this. He hasn't seen a single Roach. It's nothing but a handful of queens, Packerlings, 84 drones, and he's going to go straight up into an extra gas, and Mutalisks are going to be a huge problem for Showtime to deal with. He's on a good economy of his own, 73 probes, but he's trying to make Phoenix. And we actually saw in the group stage of the regionals of ESL Summer, Showtime had a game versus Wayne, where he kind of spotted the Spire and still died to Mass Muta. In this case, he sees it only now, but the Spire's already done. Good harassment for the Oracles. He's so good at keeping them all alive, but now he finally loses his first Oracle. He's going to have to fly that home. And the thing is, I think you need to go second Stargate. Maybe Fleet Beacon as well. But I guess he's not sure if Reyn is committing. You need to see the Mutalisks. I think once you see the Mutas have actually been built, that's when you go for the Fleet Beacon and the second Stargate. But you need to confirm that he's actually committing to that. For now, he's just building Phoenix one at a time. He's already built a few of them. And Reynor might just use that as a big tech switch later, or he might not use it at all. He's got a pretty good +2 Ravager Bane timing coming in. He's going to roll 23 Banelings in the left side. Ooh-wee. Okay, there's not many units over there. There's nothing over there, in fact. Showtime's only going to see the Banelings when they're about here. It doesn't give him a lot of time to react. And you know he's going to show the army on the right first to distract Showtime. He's going to be like, hey, look, I'm over here, man. Look at me. Look at me. Meanwhile, those Banelings on the left are what he's really banking on. Oh, that was a good shot, man. 13 kills, 1 Roach, 12 Zerglings. But Reynor answers by taking out the Observer. Oracles are going forward. Reyn is there. He's waiting with those Banelings. He wants to make sure Showtime's distracted, but because this army got scared away, well, he's actually just going to click it in on its own. This is a bit wild for Reynor, not really hedging his bets at all. He's just YOLOing. Archons have just finished morphing. Oh, get those probes back. Get those probes back. Oh, no. Great move by Reynor. Gets right into the mineral line. 14 workers go down. Looks like another disruptor shot may have landed there, as there were definitely some corpses on the ground. All the oracles go down. All but one. One oracle barely survives. 14 probes is not the end of the world. That cost a lot of Banelings, and he's still got 75. He can rebuild that. He's just got to make sure he, builds new batteries, cannons, and make sure those Archons are well positioned. The Lings going in. They're not going to... They're going to go for the Nexus? He's going for the Nexus, the mad lad. Reynor, you mad dog. 51 hit points. It survives. A Pack of Zealot Archon left on that base guarding it. Banelings will no doubt seek to follow up on that one. He's already sending them in from the middle. Smart move there. These guys can catch it, though. If Showtime's quick, Showtime's got to get on that. Oh, force field, zealots. Worth it. Worth it. Stasis trap stops those banelings. Showtime's adrenaline might be pumping right now. That Nexus is alive for now, but it's very, very weak. Zealots do get the first counterattack underway. Showtime survives. The mutas never came out. Showtime's at almost max. Showtime has made it past the scariest stage of this game. But just like the last one, the scariest stage doesn't mean it's over. Oh, look at that. Dude, he's shutting him down. He's shutting him down. REYNOR's lost like 100 banelings this game. He hasn't killed much. He's only up 10 workers. He's making nothing but Roach, Ravager, Zergling, Baneling. And as much as he managed to pick it apart in the last game, if Showtime can keep protecting his disruptors, remember, protect your balls at all time. That's what they say in the StarCraft Octagon. If you're a Protoss player, that's the first thing you learn. If you protect those, don't let them get picked off in that last game. I think he has a much better chance of securing this 5th, getting out there, and even straight up killing REYNOR. He's got +3 attack on the way. I'm surprised he doesn't have plasma shields, actually. Oh, protect your balls at all times, man. One disruptor goes down. Luckily, the second one doesn't. He only loses 6 probes, which is good. Archons clean up the Zerglings on the left side. That was actually okay. That looked bad. The disruptors got hurt, but they're okay. I really also think a second robo is essential. Because remember when his disruptor count got knocked down in that last game, he could only build them one at a time. And I really think this is like wishful thinking, which is a big thing we all fall victim of in StarCraft. We think, well, I can build up to 5 disruptors. That's all I really need with this army. And I can do that fine with 1 robo. But that's assuming you're never losing disruptors. And I think Showtime's assuming he's going to play the perfect game. We've all seen that REYNOR is very good at avoiding anything even looking close to a perfect game. Oh my god, the Abductler disruptors! The Ravagers and the Lings doing what they can. The Banelings just kind of splashing on the sides of the Archons, which is not great. But all the disruptors, they're all gone. It's just Archons versus Roach Ravager, which we know is an awkward battle for those Archons, even though the Immortal is helping in the back. The Zealots coming in on the right. If there was a few more Zealots earlier, that could have been game-changing. Zealots in front of Archons is so good normally. Zealots on the left going after those drones. It looks like Showtime does end up holding the line. He holds the line there. He's going to pick up a few of these Ravagers on the retreat. Nice chase, but he's got to get home now because he knows the Remax is going to be here momentarily. He's got to get home. Showtime, get out of there. This creep spread is insane, man. Dark Templar will protect him, but they won't protect the Prism. It goes down. Showtime needs to go home. He needs to get off creep. He needs an Observer or something up here as well. He's got one, but it's back there. Losing that Observer earlier was a big problem. The Dark Templar can hold off REYNOR. REYNOR gets an Archon, chases down an Archon and an Immortal for a few Zerglings. You mad dog, REYNOR. And this is what I'm talking about with 1 robo. This is where a single robo struggles. Of course, not having a 5th base fully established yet is a problem. He's going to transfer workers over there. He'll have it mining in the near future. But the next wave is already coming in. REYNOR's got a Great Aspire. He's planning a Broodlord transition. It's not layer tech or die trying. He actually has decent hive tech timing for once. Right when I say REYNOR never goes quick hive tech, he never makes a crisp Broodlord or Lurker transition in his entire life. He actually does really good Ravagerling Bane aggression, and after 2 waves, swaps into Broodlords. This is uncharacteristic and no doubt unexpected by Showtime. There's no disruptors right now. There is Blink and +3 attack. Unfortunately, no shield upgrades, which means the Archons do get popped very easily. I prefer shields over +3 attack, because remember, the shield upgrade level 1 only takes 2 minutes to upgrade, way faster than +2 and +3. +3 melee is on the way for Zerg right now. Viper, Roach, Ravager, with a few Zerglings sprinkled in, coming forwards. Grab an Archon, kill it. One of the Archons does get saved by the Warp Prism. Nice hot pickups by Showtime with his Prism. I love that people are using the Prism to counter the Abduct Micro a little bit more. But another Archon gets picked off. This one, can he save it? Oh, not quite. He's going to try and drop Archons on top of this army, but now there's Broodlords there. Oh, REYNOR covered it with a surprise Broodlords. Showtime was not expecting this move whatsoever. Zealots do run in the right side, but look at REYNOR's Spinecrawler placement. Very hard for the Zealots to get at that. Look at the way they bug out. REYNOR's so smart with that building placement. The Immortal going to go to the left. Girls get sniped. Archon's going for a backstab. He wants to go around and abuse the immobility of the Broodlords. But since REYNOR knows he'll go for this, REYNOR's on mass Roach Ravager Zergling. And if he can pressure you into throwing your army onto his side of the map, they'll do pretty well. Broodlords are attacking. This is so risky for REYNOR. That's so crazy. They could die to even 10 Blink Stalkers could probably take those 7 Broodlords out. But he goes for it. He takes the risky move because he feels like Showtime will not expect him to do it. It's exactly what REYNOR's doing this game. Everything Showtime will not expect. Broodlords are starting to rain down death on that base. REYNOR loses a base at home, but he should take out a base at Showtime, so they both trade a base. REYNOR's still up on 4, soon to be 5 bases. He's still abducting and killing Archons whenever he can. Still 4 Archons and an Immortal in the back. It's kind of so scary to stand and fight with this Protoss force. But look at that. Oh, nice Biles landing. Stalkers do blink on top of the Broodlords, guys. There's only 5 Broodlords left here, but it looks like he's overwhelmed the army at the front, and that's what matters. Showtime, after killing that base, I would have loved to see him pull back, kill the Broodlords, and reset. Oh, especially if he got Psystorm in here. Would have been so nice with this army because he is pretty well upgraded. But after losing that core of units on the front, so many Archons going down, he's got 1 Archon, 1 Immortal, 10 Stalkers. And now the Ravager Bane seems like it's king again. Just Roaches, Ravagers, Lings, and Banes. This 5th base is so essential to hang on to. I definitely want to see Showtime put some of those workers on that base. Here comes the Abducts. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Dark Templar's there, but look at that. Banelings just roll forward. He picks up the Dark Templar. He's going to drop it again in the near future. The Banelings rolling into the base. Parasitic Bomb even on the Phoenix to deal with those. There's Queens here off creep. Stalkers and Archons spreading as the best they can. I don't think any of the Baneling hits were absolutely massive, but it doesn't matter. There is too much Roach Ravagerling behind it. The Protoss is strung out way too thin and unsupported. And once again, REYNOR the Wizard here. Doesn't even use the Spire. Just continues on with the Ravagerling Bane. His first few attacks were so easily held. And then he just finds a way, as he always does. REYNOR, fantastic play. All right, guys, dragging his way back into this series, looking fantastic. REYNOR playing some bloody good StarCraft. What's so insane is that I feel like Showtime has an ability to get to a position so much better than most other players have. The problem is he gives up all map control to do it. And a guy like REYNOR is covering the map in creep. He's got so much vision. He sees exactly where Showtime is, and he's picking his engagements masterfully. The moment Showtime tries to get a 5th base, even though it feels like up to that point he's just winning fight after fight, suddenly things don't look that good. I do, once again, want to say protecting the disruptors and potentially getting a second robo to replace those disruptors may actually be the key. Like, you know, if he has a game as smooth as that last one, I think he can afford it. Don't get me wrong, if the game's a bit messier, you're a little behind, you probably can't afford the second robo. But I think his early game was good enough. I would love to see the second robo and just a few more disruptors in there. Showtime is a master of defense, and with that comes a lot of numbers advantages. But there are some things that are a bit more intangible until you're a much more experienced player. Showtime with a rare mistake, guys. He's only got 1 worker on this patch over here on the right side. And he's got 3 workers here on a middle patch. If he doesn't fix that up, he will lose a bit of mining, as these 3 workers are now mining at a bit less than 100% efficiency, or about 60, 70%, something like that. And this mineral patch, of course, could have someone mining on it at 100. Nice cancel. Sees where the 3rd base is. Stargate's up. You might be thinking, isn't this a bit of a predictable opening? Yeah, that's literally Showtime in every matchup. The man is predictable personified. Predictability personified. But he really is such a good example of why that's not a problem, because he beats so many of the top players. And even in a big tournament like this, where they're really on their A game and they're really focused and they're ready for him, it still feels like they very rarely have some move to get a free win. Like, you think normally predictable player just dies to certain pre-planned all-ins that are card countering their build. But Showtime's builds are just so well balanced and they have extra safety precautions in them that it never really feels like he's in danger of that. Do you think he saw those Zerglings maybe just barely? 3 Adepts should be more than a match for him. Look at that, doesn't even take a hit from the Zerglings, so the shields do keep regenerating on that Adept. And the first Oracle flies in. He's looking for the lava, not able to get it. I like keeping the Oracle alive. Hover over these, and as those drones pop out, blast them. Showtime just monitoring that. You can see he's looking at it. And how quick are we on the Spore Trick, REYNOR? Not quick enough. Oh, he cancels a lava there as well. That egg had to get canceled because it had already taken a hit and was almost dead before it turned into an egg. Has to do a Spore Crawler trick, which no doubt he'll move into the mineral line when he gets a chance. No Spore in the main. There are 3 Queens in the main. Oracles fly in. No drones exposed just yet, but the rally point is. And REYNOR's so quick. Gets that Spore down. Showtime takes it out. No cancel. That's a kill. Kills the drone inside and the 75 minerals of the Spore Crawler. Nicely done. Adept's going to try and shade past here. Ooh, the Oracles can't quite cover him. Good chase by REYNOR, but at the end of the day, gets everything out. Does Showtime. He's played triple Oracle. He's going Twilight Forge. +1 melee is on the way. Third base is there. We've got that base as well. Third and fourth gateway going up. He's on 4 gases. Are we going to see that Zealot Archon 6 gate pressure again? Is there a way Reynor with this style could just shut that down? I think he did really well on altitude by just basically off about 68 workers, pumping out 7-8 roaches, a big pack of zerglings, and seeing exactly what he can pull out. Oracle's going to dive around the back of the natural. If you guys ever want to watch these games live, a lot of the games I cast on my Pigcasts YouTube channel are all cast live on my Twitch stream my Saturday morning every week. That's Friday evening if you're in North America or Europe. We gather a bunch of the best games of StarCraft from the previous week or two. Sometimes a bit earlier than that, but usually the previous week or two. And cast them all. Try to pick just the most interesting and exciting series. This one's been very fascinating to see how Reynor deals with a Protoss that gets to such a sick Archon Disruptor count. That is a beautiful cancel. He saves all the Oracles and shades some Adepts away. You're kidding me. I wasn't even talking about it. I was just watching it. I was like, there's no way he gets this cancel and stuff. Saves all. He loses 2 Adepts, takes a bit of damage, cancels the 4th. It was a very early 4th, so Reynor can instantly pop it back down. Now, interestingly, that's a very fast Baneley Nest and Roach Horn, so we're going to see Roach... Oh, actually, no, it's not really. It's actually past 6 minutes already, isn't it? But we're going to see a fast kind of Bane speed, Roach speed, and +2 melee all lining up around the same time. Notice Reynor should be starting this almost immediately, because you know he wants to hit the moment +2 melee is done with Bane speed, Roach speed. Overwhelm, 640, and already a 4th base started. 66 workers for Protoss, 76 for Zerg. Reynor's going up to 78 workers off of just a few Zerglings. It is a Blink opening into Robo Bay this time around, and a Dark Shrine. Wow, okay, so I think he's playing Dark Shrine to make Archons with more minerals rather than gas. You save 50 gas in Archon, you've got to spend 150 minerals extra per Archon. So it's a bit of a costly trade-off in terms of overall resource value. Personally, I always prefer doing it the other way and just building more cannons or zealots or gateways, some other mineral-heavy unit, and accepting that I'm down maybe 1 Archon for every couple of Archons I make. How many gateways is he at? 6 gateways up. He's building 2 more there, 3 there. So that's going to be 9 gates in total. The Stalker's trying to put on some pressure. He's at least keeping Reynor at a reasonable worker count. He's at 77. He's not up at 85 or 90 workers. And it's a pretty small amount of pressure. 10 Stalkers, 3 Oracles. He's also swapping into Charge, building Disruptors, and getting ready for Archons. So I really like that Showtime has opened up with Blink, and yet he really hasn't overcommitted. We've been talking a lot recently about how Reynor really thinks you're kind of a dum-dum if you just mass Stalkers and then expect to win late-game fights. They're just not a good unit for their stats. They're good in small to medium numbers at roaming the map. They're very flexible at defending. You can use them to help defend Mutas or Broodlords, but massing them does not scale well into the late game, and it becomes very much reliant on you essentially winning with 1 big attack, whereas adding Archons and Disruptors like he's doing now, swapping back into that composition that he's shown he loves to defend with, he can look much better with. These Queens are all moving forward. You're not actually attacking, are you? Oh, he is. He is. He's bringing the Overlords. He's going to lay out the doo-doo highway, guys. The Overlords are going to drop Trow and unload some creep all over this. 3 Archons, 10 Stalkers, and a Disruptor. 4th Archon warping in. He's trying to get more and more here. Supply blocked right now is Showtime. He does need to build a few more pylons, but I guess he's going to be losing units soon enough, so he probably doesn't need too many cannons and batteries all across these bases. Stasis Trap gets set off by just a few Zerglings. Disruptor, first one goes forwards. Great spready on that left flank for Reynor. Another one comes forwards. Oh, good spready again, but that one actually still connected a little bit. The Disruptor's out of the open. There's no Prism to save it. There's so much Ling Bane. There's so much Ling Bane. Oh my god. What a disgustingly brutal Ravager Ling Bane timing. He is just ransacking the base, and he says, this is what I think about Stalker openings. Oh my gosh. The Stalkers just did nothing there. Showtime, Prism on the other side of the map wasn't doing anything. He has to GG. Let's watch those last few seconds. He just didn't have the numbers he needed. I think he needed to fall back to the left earlier, but not having this shield battery finish. Excuse me, that shield battery finish. No cannons or batteries in the natural. Not that many in that base. He didn't really want to split up his army and let Reynor take position, but I think maybe he should have. Maybe he should have split his army to here and over to there. But it's so difficult to defend 4 bases at this stage. He'd gone to 80 workers, which was a little greedy. 8 gases as well. Didn't have that many cannons and batteries up yet. And just a crisp, beautiful timing for REYNOR. I just want to show those dodges one last time before we close out, because I feel like these dodges, these were not even the best ones, but it's his ability to minimize damage in these scenarios that is just next level. Look at this. Okay, so first one's going to go out. How much does it get? Like 3 banelings. That's not changing the course of this battle. 3 or 4 banelings. This one goes out. That one looks like it's going to hit a lot. He still spreads at the last minute. It kills a Ravager and 6 or 7 Zerglings and banelings. It's just not enough. Because what's so strange is normally for people to dodge that well, they have to pull their whole army back. And the Disruptor buys the Protoss time for everything else to get set up and defended. The difference here is REYNOR just splits his army in the middle at the split second before the Disruptor goes off. And that allows his attack to continue overwhelming, immediately killing the Disruptors before they can retreat. And just getting on top of everything. It is beautiful the way REYNOR controls his ZvP army. And it is amazing that he manages to kill people with timings like this over and over again. He turns that series around after an epic game 1, secures the 3-1 victory. GG, well played, you absolute savage. GG, mate.